So, welcome back. Lesson 16, dividing whole numbers by fractions. So the first thing we're going to look at here, okay, is just a regular question. Lena divides a string 1 meter long into pieces 2 meter long. Okay, so what is happening here? Okay, so each piece is going to be 2 meters long. So I'm going to cut it there. And I'm going to cut it there, and I'm going to cut it there. So how many pieces do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. And if I write this out as an equation, so I have 3 pieces the length, to fit into 6. So the question is going to be 6 divided by 2 equals 3, and that's meters, right? Okay, so now I'm going to look at this as a division question. So James divides a string 3 meters long, which I have down here, right, into pieces that are 1/2 meter long. Okay, so I'm going to cut these into 1/2 meter long. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 pieces that are 1/2 meter long. Okay, so this is 1 piece, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I know I have 6 pieces that are 1 meter long, or that are 6 pieces in total that are 1/2 meter long, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is show you how to multiply this. So if I have 2 pieces of length that are 1/2 meter and that fit into 1 meter. So the 2 pieces fit into 1 meter, right? And then I am going to take that 2 and multiply it by the 3, and I'm going to get 6 pieces in total. Okay, so that is actually the same as saying 3 divided by 1/2 is equal to 6. Okay, we're going to figure out the y in this after, but I want you to just go and do some of the questions for this and practice right now. So you're going to stop, do question 1 right now, and you're just going to practice this. Okay, so what is happening here, okay, is I'm taking that 9, I'm going to multiply it by the 5, and it's going to give me 45. Okay, and that's just practice on that. I'm going to explain the y in another lesson. Okay, so, and this would be now rewritten as 6 times 5, which equals 30. Okay, now, how many strings of length 2/5 of a meter fit along a string of length 4 meters long? Okay, so my step 1 is I calculate how many strings of length 1/5 of a meter fit along a string of length 4 meters. Okay, so I draw this out. This is what it means, okay? I have to calculate first. I'm taking this, I'm going to calculate just 1 first. So this is 1/5, okay? And it's being divided up. So I can go for divided up into 1/5, which is what I've done here. These are all 1/5. And now what's actually being asked of me is how many pieces are there? So it's going to be 4 times the 5 because there's 5 pieces in each section now. And that's going to be equal to 20. And then I divide, I'm going to get rid of this. I divide this into 2/5 pieces. I want a different color. Okay, so now that is going to be 2/5, right? And 2/5 and 2/5. 2/5, 2/5, 2/5, 2/5, 2/5, 2/5, and 2/5. Okay, now I want to know how many pieces I have, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 pieces. I don't end up with a fraction. I end up with 10 pieces of that fabric, right? So what I do is I take 20 from here, and then I can divide it by 2, and that's going to be equal to 10. Okay, so what's happening here is they're multiplying by the denominator and then dividing by the numerator there. So when people talk about flipping or inversing the fraction when you're doing division, this is why is what you're counting is the actual pieces. So you're trying to figure out what the pieces are. So this is why you end up flipping that question. Okay, so if I were to write this out as 4 divided by 2/5, what happens is it ends up being written as 5, 7, and then I multiply those and then divide by the 2. Okay. So anyways, there's some practice problems for you. We are going to be doing this a lot more, so don't worry if it's not making sense yet, and hopefully we can get you to understand the why.